Hi, everyone. Life Coach Carissa here, back with you today to talk about a new topic that I hope you will enjoy and find helpful. It is the week of Christmas already. I'm wearing my red, trying to be festive, and it's hard to believe that the end of another year will be here in less than 10 days. So in this video, I am going to be sharing ideas for how to be in the moment. I think it's easy, especially during the holidays and end of year celebrations, to sort of get swept up in all the happenings, and we don't take the time to slow down and process all that is going on around us or even within us. You know, reflecting on the year we have had and setting intentions for what we want to manifest in our lives in the coming year. I want to give you some specific areas to think about and steps you can take for becoming more in the moment and staying mindful of what is happening in your life. I've been really focusing on this for myself lately, how to stay in the moment. And for me, I find that I can very easily get caught up in the to-do lists and making progress towards goals that I don't take time to enjoy the everyday experiences. It's been a pattern of mine. And I can be guilty of rushing through things and then thinking, where did the time go? How is that over already? How has another year flown by? When did that building go up? Where have I been? Why didn't I notice that new statue? Can you relate to any of this? We get so in our routines and repeat the same processes and behaviors each day that we feel on autopilot. We may even believe the story that we don't have a choice. We don't have time to slow down. It's impossible for us to live in the moment. That's just something that special people get to do. I'm here to tell you that none of that is true. It's a false story your brain is selling you. It just requires awareness and intention. It does require practice. So what does all this even mean, to live in the moment? I like the definition that I ran across somewhere in my reading once, and it said, to live in the moment is to be fully present and aware of the emotions you are feeling and the thoughts you are thinking right at that moment. When you are not present in this moment, you are either looking at your past or you're just so fixated on the future. I mean, of course, we use our past as a way to learn and grow, to not repeat things that got us out of alignment. And we look to our future for optimism of what we would like to create more of in our lives. But we often do this consistently to where we don't know how to just be in the present moment. And I truly believe that the majority of my problems, issues, hangups, they come from me not staying mindful. I can tie it all back to me not being mindful. I get lax. I stop following my own plan and protocol. And then I wonder why I feel like I'm off or I'm out of alignment. So if you're feeling this at all, I have some ideas. Let's get down to the real basics here. What does it even look like to not live in the moment? And so I have like 6 warning signs that you can take note of and see if any of these resonate with you. 1, nothing seems fun anymore. I used to say this to myself all the time. I'm not having fun anymore. I just don't know how to experience joy. I now ask myself, what am I doing this for if I can't find any enjoyment in it? Number 2, you think everything has to be a stepping stone to get you to the future that you want, because you believe that the future that you want is going to make you happy. That's not entirely true. When we get there, it's still going to be that same 50-50 life. We take ourselves with us wherever we go. So I used to only focus on the results, the destination, not the journey that would get me there. And those journeys are so full of insight, growth, and development. And that's what I've learned. The journey is the way. Number 3, you're so connected to your devices. I used to not be able to have my phone sitting anywhere but beside me, which of course made it too easy for me to constantly reach for it. I mean, talk about, a living in the moment stealer. So be mindful of how often you are on a device. Number 4, you struggle to feel connected to people. You have a hard time enjoying an exchange with people in person. You'd rather be alone all the time. You can't see what there is to gain from having meaningful connections with people. That could even be strangers out in the world that you don't even know. Number 5, you can't relax and enjoy the quiet. This could even manifest itself with a racing brain at night when you should be sleeping. You know, when your brain is trained to be on all the time, it may fight you at nighttime too. Number 6, you only want to follow the script that you're creating in your head. I used to do this. I would script out life, how I wanted things to go and what each step of the process should look like. I, talk about setting myself up for disappointment. Life is not meant to be scripted. All right. We can have plans, we can have goals, but we are not meant to script out every step of the way to where then we feel a setback when it doesn't go that way that our brains had planned out. So the first step, as I always say, is awareness. Awareness precedes change. I had to become aware of my not knowing how to live in the moment before I could even begin, to use my intelligent brain for ways to change this pattern of behavior. So I started asking myself, am I enjoying my days? What makes each of my days special or unique? Am I living on autopilot day after day? If I only had a limited days left on this earth, what would I spend them doing? When was the last time I truly experienced joy? What do I want to spend more of my downtime doing? What is keeping me from doing more of those things now? I always say this, ask your brain good quality questions, thought-provoking questions, and it will try not to disappoint you, and it will come up with some ideas. I ask myself these questions to create awareness. Once I see what is happening, only then can I begin to see the vision for what I might want to change and what change might actually look like for me. So when I think back to my journey of how to really live in the moment, for me, it kind of was these 4 main areas that I'll share with you. 1 was staying mindful. What am I thinking about each day? How am I feeling? And what actions am I taking? I know that where I spend my thoughts is what I will often create more of in my life. So I remind myself to journal daily and continually focus on what is most important to me, to focus on goals and what I want to create more of in my life. And the only way to stay mindful is to mind your brain, mind your thoughts. Notice what's going on inside there and make a conscious decision as to whether or not it is serving you. Are you thinking negative thoughts about family and friends this holiday and then wondering why you're dreading these upcoming holiday gatherings? Are you already buying in to the toxic thoughts that you'll make better choices as soon as January 1 arrives? And so you're already self-sabotaging the healthy choices you're going to make at the holiday gatherings at the end of the year? Are you maybe alone this holiday season, and so you're slipping into that depression and deciding that drinking is the best way to get you through the holiday? Be aware of what's happening inside of here. You have to mind your brain. Remember, we have that primitive brain that seeks pleasure and comfort 95% of the time. So you've got to be the keeper of that. Number 2, I started noticing my surroundings. I paid attention to more of what was happening around me, to look for the small, simple things, experience my senses. I used to go through each day not noticing anything about my surroundings. It sounds terrible, but it's true. I used to drive the same route day after day, not noticing anything that changed. I was distracted, hurried driving, just trying to get to my destination. I now make it a priority to slow down, give myself more time, look around more, smile at people more, talk to strangers more, show compassion and help others when I can, look for those opportunities, It has changed so much for me. I try to take daily walks, which has really led me to slowing down and enjoying, all that nature around me has to offer. Number 3 is I attempted to cut out the clutter. I tried to rid myself of unnecessary things as well as mental baggage, that I'd been carrying around. So I would give something my full undivided attention. How often are we trying to multitask that we don't even do the one thing well? Our child wants us to listen to them read a story, but we have our phone in our hands at the same time we're checking email or scrolling social. Cut the clutter. Allow yourself to give one thing your clear and undivided attention and simplify life. Don't add stuff you don't need, because remember, in the end, if it all came down to it, all the things that would matter to you are not things. It tends to be loved ones and the experiences we have with them and the memories that we've made. Those can never be taken away from us. The legacy we leave. Rid yourself of unnecessary clutter, whether that is mental baggage or the physical type in your life. And I began to practice it. This is number 4. I began to practice gratitude daily. Being grateful for all that I have keeps me grounded. I try to spend a few minutes every single morning being grateful. It doesn't matter if it's just for waking up another day and feeling well enough to get out of bed and use my body for some productive purpose. I find something each day. Those simple thoughts of gratitude set the tone for my day, and it has made such a difference in my life. I'll often journal about the gratitude, thoughts as well. And that is so powerful for solidifying what really does matter to me. And I truly believe it is possible to not, to find gratitude for something, no matter how dark of times you may encounter, there is always something to be grateful for. We just have to look maybe a little deeper for it. All right. So I hope you were able to be honest with yourself and ask if some of those 6 signs I mentioned earlier might be telling you that you have some work to do for being more in the moment. And if so, I hope you'll go back and write down these 4 ideas that have worked so well for me to get me on a different path. Maybe they can get you moving in a new direction too. And once you do it for a week, I know you'll feel something different. Give it an honest try. You and everyone you love are so worth it. And when you can figure out the secret for living in the moment, so much of how you see your world can evolve. Okay, everyone, that is what I have for you this week. Short and sweet. I hope you have a peaceful holiday week. Whatever your beliefs are, whatever you celebrate, do it with intention. Decide how you want to be in this moment. As the year, end of the year approaches and you want to create some new habits as you head into 2023, do it with intention. When you incorporate, more of these actions into your life, the result is feeling more peace and harmony. And you may just enjoy this 50-50 life that we have been given a little more than you are now. So thank you for listening. As this year comes to a close, I am so grateful to my followers and the feedback that you share with me. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel to be the first to be notified when new videos are released. And as always, if you like the content I'm sharing, please let me know by liking and sharing this with others. My mission as a life coach is to show others how to put an end to their own self-imposed pain and suffering. This is what we do to ourselves, people. And we change this by learning new tools and putting those tools into practice, making them habits. So this is what I'm all about and what I will continue to do with these videos and the content that I put out in the world. Please stay mindful, mind your brain, really be intentional with what you want to do coming into this new year when we have an opportunity for what feels like a fresh start. All right, everybody. Merry Christmas. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time.